What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. We got some breaking news. Biden drops out of the 2024 presidential race and endorses Kamala Harris. Let's go live with Fox right now.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. And we have some breaking news as President Joe Biden has just announced that he is dropping out of the 2024 presidential race. This happening just moments ago. You are taking a look at the letter that he has just issued, and we are going to read it in its entirety. It says, "My fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. Today,
Where? In progress in regards of opening up borders and reducing trade transactions, increasing production in Mexico and China. Biden inflation, is that what he's referring to? I'll stop.
America has the strongest economy in the world. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation, in lowering prescription drug costs for seniors, and in expanding affordable health care to
He has done that.
a record number of Americans. We've provided critically needed care to 1 million veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law.
I'll finish this. Let me finish this. I'll have her finish this.
In 30 years, appointed the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legislation in the history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. It goes on to say, quote, "I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We've protected and preserved our democracy, and we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president. And while it had been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all those who have worked so hard to see me reelected. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all this work. And let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and trust you have placed in me."
Interesting. We all knew this was coming out the hopper. We all knew it was coming out the hopper. There was some news coming out earlier this week, speaking about potential dropping out of Joe Biden. So he officially pulls out of the 2024 U.S. presidential race. Let me see what this says here.
ABC's editorial producer, John Santucci. John, on the other end of this, you have former President Donald Trump's campaign. The former president is just after surviving this attempted assassination on his been back out on the campaign trail. And the Trump campaign has been notably a little bit more quiet on President Biden following this debate, a sign that maybe they really wanted to see him stay on the ballot in November. What more are we learning from the Trump campaign about how they're responding to this and also how they're preparing to now face off against Vice President Kamala Harris?
Rachel, literally, as you were just introducing me, we just got a statement from former President Donald Trump. I'm going to read the entire thing, Rachel. It's posted to his Truth Social account. It reads, quote, "Crooked."
So this is direct from former President Donald Trump's Truth Social.
Joe Biden was not fit to run for president and is certainly not fit to serve and never was. He only attained the position of president by lies, fake news, and not leaving his basement. All those around him, including the doctors and the media, knew that he wasn't capable of being president, and he wasn't. And now look what he's done to our country, with millions of people coming across our border, totally unchecked, unvetted, many from prisons, mental institutions, and a number of terrorists. He goes on to say, we will suffer greatly because of his presidency, but we will remedy the damage he has done very quickly. Trump goes on to end the statement, make America great again. Of course, the signature line, Rachel, as you know all too well. Listen, the Trump team in recent days, Rachel, you and I have been reporting this together, have actually backed off attacking President Biden because they see an easier path to beat Joe Biden. Now, all of which to say, as again, because you and I do this together, Rachel, we reported earlier today, our understanding at ABC News is that the Trump team had been building basically a just-in-case book to beat Kamala Harris. They've been doing research, some polling, and we know from our reporting, Rachel, that they've already looked at how they would, take some of the past statements of the vice president, now that, of course, Joe Biden's endorsed her, and start to build attack ads against her. The reality is that this is going to be a bit of uncharted waters for the Trump team because, again, for much of the last 3 years, they've been gearing up for Joe Biden. So it is going to have to be a quick pivot. They are going to have to start to spend more money, especially on ads, which, as you well know, Rachel, a big bulk of Donald Trump's campaign cash has been used really for his legal bills over the last year as he fended off the cases in New York, the federal cases by special counsel Jack Smith, and the investigations brought by Fulton County District Attorney Bonnie Willis in the efforts to turn the election there. I do think the other thing that I'm hearing from my sources, and I know my colleague Catherine Folders and you were hearing it as well, Rachel, is that one of the things they're going to do is attack Kamala Harris on immigration. But seriously, though, this is a big shock to them as well.
I think it's, he officially endorsed Kamala Harris, and Biden officially endorsed Kamala Harris. And it makes the most sense in regards of the funding that that Joe Biden and his campaign was able to accumulate over the recent years in regards to the re-election campaign. It makes the most sense financially, because then some of that can actually be passed down to Ms. Harris. But knowing she doesn't really have anything in her kitty, because she doesn't really have anything in the campaign kitty, because she used a lot of it in her previous campaign for when she attempted to run. Let's see what other news is out. They're going to try to swing some of the black voters over to Kamala Harris.
We should focus on the legacy of Joe Biden as president. I do recognize the urgency of the moment. As we head towards our convention in Chicago in August, I think the most important thing we can do is come together. And Vice President Harris has an incredible legacy of success and accomplishment as a senator and vice president. I do not expect a serious challenge to her nomination.
I shouldn't even have clicked on CBS. Anyways, there is going to be a serious challenge here. There definitely is going to be a serious challenge with her against Trump, but this is the official news. President Joe Biden has officially dropped out of the 2024 presidential race. I'd love to get your guys' thoughts. Go ahead and drop them down below. Other than that, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.